So hi all. So today's topic is the most common question which I have encountered and I have seen in various platforms also, that where to start machine learning and how to self-start machine learning, and what all the topics to cover for data science. So in this lecture, I'll be covering not the entire part, but at least major portions which are most commonly used, the terms which we use more often. I will be covering those things in this document, and I will be sharing across in the description of this video. So just stay with me and throughout the video and just see what all the topics you may need to cover to become a data scientist. Okay, so here in terms of broader aspects, like what you need to cover is start with any programming language, like whether it may be R or SAS, SAS or Python. The most popular one is Python, and most of the programmers or the data science scientists start and learn Python first, and then if there is a need, then they move on to R or SAS, that is a analysis. Uh, statistics analytical tool. So SAS is also a language which is used for statistical analysis. So better you can start with learning with Python first. Then there is a language that is SQL. SQL is more often used for the database purpose. When you integrate your Python and read the data from the database directly itself, then SQL comes on in the picture. So SQL, that is a structured query language that is used, and you should be aware of SQL at least, either in terms of Oracle or MySQL. There are different number of databases, and in most of the databases, the SQL mostly remains the same with a little bit of syntactical differences. Then other part is the data analysis and the data visualization part. So you must be clear with the analysis which we do with the data before applying the machine learning model. Hence, we need to be fully aware for the data analysis part, and it also includes the data visualization, that is plotting with the help of different type of uh, plots like histograms or bar charts or box plots. So that also you may need to cover before learning the machine learning part, that is the machine learning algorithms. So here I have shared the detailed path flow, which you can see that, okay, what all the topics and the subtopics you may need to cover for Python. So in Python, you need to cover the basic data types and the operations, which I'm already started the series for this, and I will be covering the entire section till the machine learning part. Okay. So in the Python, we need to start with the data types and their operations, the loopings, that is the if else while and for loop. Then to start and build the functions, and even the module creations, in which there will be different type of functions embedded in a module, and then it can be a user defined module, and then we can import it into our different classes to use it as a like common functionality. We can create a module, and then you should be aware of the exception handling part and the data structures, and the classes creation, that is the oops concepts are also you should be fully clear in terms of Python and implementing the classes in Python. Okay, and the most important, there is a regular expression. You must be clear with the regular expression parts for filtering out syntactically. That means if in a particular format you need, then the regular expressions comes in picture, and you should be able to filter out using the regular expressions. Okay, so this will I hope it will cover the Python part, that is a Python programming. You must have this much knowledge to start and code in uh, Python. Okay, so this will be, I think, not enough, but yeah, it will cover up your 70 to 80% programming in terms of building a machine learning model. Okay, so first of all, with my experience, I want to tell you that machine learning is not like writing 1,000 lines of code. It will never be, you will never ever encounter a model which will have around 1,000 to 2,000 lines of code. It will be mostly like 100 to 150 lines of code, and your model building will be completed. Okay, that there may be a different type of like techniques through which you can use but mostly it will never go up to 1000 or 2000 lines of machine learning model building code. Okay, so this was Python content part. So then coming on to statistics part. So in statistics, you must be fully aware with the, like in the maths, you should cover the linear algebra part, that okay, what is a matrix, what is a eigenvalues, what are the vectors are there. Okay, so you should be fully aware of that. Okay, and in the statistical part, you should be aware with the inferential, descriptive, and predictive statistics. You should be knowing that okay, what comes under the inferential statistics, descriptive, and predictive statistics. Then you should be fully aware with the measures of central tendency parameters like mean, median, mode, quartiles, that is interquartile, upper quartile, lower quartile, standard deviation, variance, covariance, skewness, like whether it's a the data is skewed or not. So this you should be fully aware and completely aware of these type of uh, and these type of parameters you should be fully aware. Okay, then comes on to the random variables, probability distribution functions, cumulative distribution functions, and there are various other distributions like Gaussian, normal, binomial distributions. You should be aware and you should know that okay, what exactly it looks like. When we say and when we ask that okay, what is a Gaussian distribution function, you can just go ahead and search in Wikipedia and you will get a good amount of knowledge, rather than if you are going and trying to search it from some video. Better to try learning the statistics from Wikipedia itself, or there are n number of books present online through which also you can learn the stats part. Okay, so there are then different type of tests which you need to know, like chi-square test, ANOVA test, hypothesis testing, and even the t-test. So and then the confidence intervals estimation. So these terms you should be totally and fully aware of once you complete the statistics module. Okay, coming on to the SQL part. So what all to cover in SQL? So SQL, like you can cover up the DDL and the DML commands firstly. That okay, and it's a very simple SQL language. So you can cover up the DDL and DML commands, and you should also know the syntax of a basic select query, the subqueries, the nested queries, joins, and how to apply the filters to clean out the data. So this was SQL, that is a structured query language. And then we'll be moving on to the data visualization, data analysis, and data pre-processing. See, in our machine learning project, I can like let you know from my experience that most of the time, around 60 to 70% of time goes on in preparing the data, that is data gathering, data cleansing, data pre-processing, feature engineering, feature scaling. This all are the part of data pre-processing, and we do a lot of data analysis on the data which is unstructured, uncleansed. So we mostly spend our time for firstly cleansing the data, and then only you know that the machine learning model will perform in a better way. Okay, so what all to cover in data visualization and data pre-processing and data analysis module. So we can see that okay, you should be aware of the important libraries of Python like NumPy, Pandas, Seaborn, Matplotlib, and see there are many common libraries which you would be using once you are fully aware of and once you start building models. Okay, so NumPy, Pandas, and like SciPy, Seaborn, these will be mostly used for the data analysis part, and Matplotlib and even the Seaborn will be used for the data visualization part, that is plotting the data with the help of parameters. You should be aware of the univariate and multivariate analysis, that doing analysis with the one variable, that how it is getting distributed, like with the help of a scatter plot, heat maps. Heat maps shows us the correlation between two variables. Then the bar charts, pie charts, box plots. Box plots will have the whiskers. We also see it as a whisker plot, and in box plots we can see the outliers also. So you should be clear with the outliers identification and how to and when to drop them. So you should be properly like, and you should be having a good command over this whole module. Why? Because if you're not clear with the data visualization and the data processing part, believe me guys, you will not be your model. If you even build up, it will not perform in a good way, and the accuracy scores would really be not up to the mark. So now coming on to the machine learning content, that okay, what should be covering for those who are newly stepping and learning the machine learning part. So what you should do is start with the regression techniques, and the most simple algorithms are the simple linear regression, multiple linear regression, polynomial, SVR, decision tree, and random forest regression. So you should be aware of the regression techniques. These are the classification techniques, and then the clustering techniques. And dimensionality reduction techniques is for suppose if you are having 100 or 200 columns for a data, or even the columns goes up to 10,000 or 20,000. So how to approach and reduce the dimensions and make it up to the two or like one column. So this comes under the part of dimensionality reduction techniques, that is PCA, like prompt component analysis, then the LDA and kernel PCA. So these are the dimensionality reduction techniques. Then comes the reinforcement learning techniques like upper confidence bound, Thompson sampling, and finally you should be able to evaluate the model performance. So here just I wanted to reiterate that dimensionality reduction techniques, that is PCA, is not a it's a prompt, it's a principal component analysis. And here this is also a different dimensionality reduction technique, that is kernel principal component analysis. Okay, so you should be getting a good percentage when you're evaluating your model performance, which will be helping you to predict the right output and classify if you're using the classification techniques, and even cluster the data accordingly if you're applying for the data the clustering technique. And finally, after, if you are knowing the if you are good with if your machine learning model builds up with good accuracy scores, then you can deploy the models in the production. Okay, so just I need to cover one more point, that you should know accordingly to how to train and test split the data. So after learning these modules and these topics, you can move on to learn the natural language processing, that is NLPs, deep learning, and start doing the simple projects from Kaggle. So Kaggle is a good platform where you will be getting a good amount of data to start from, and submit the scores over there, and you will be ranked accordingly over there in Kaggle dashboard. So I hope you must be now at least you would be having a knowledge to where to start from. And if suppose you have some doubts, please post in the comment section and we'll be happy to resolve them. Till then, enjoy and happy machine learning. Thank you.